big money at Menards. By your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or visit northlandford.com and drive one. By Burger King. Have it your way. And by Home Furniture.
The Minnesota Twins try to win their second consecutive series tonight as they host the Tampa Bay Rays in this third and final game at the Metrodome this regular season. Welcome back. I'm Robbie Smikowski. First pitch coming in just a couple moments. And one area for the Twins this season where the numbers have really told the story are the Twins batting with runners in scoring position. Look at the average in the 10 wins this season. They batted .375 with runners on second and or third. And the 11 losses, they batted just .091. Last night, they kind of bucked the trend a little bit. They went 1 for 8 in the 4-3 win over the Rays in the ninth inning. The walk-off Justin Morneau, fielder's choice. But last year, look at the Twins. They batted over .300, .305, best in baseball last season with runners in scoring position. Nick Blackburn takes the hill for the Minnesota Twins. Will the Rays win their first series or will the Twins win their second straight? Find out next on Fox Sports North.
Low-scoring games. This past week, that's just what they've done, including last night's thriller. After splitting the first two games with the Rays, tonight the Twins look to take the series. All the action starts now. And the Twins hope to open up this homestand with a series win against a team that resembles the Minnesota Twins. A lot of good young players, a good young pitching staff. And the Rays, of course, off to a slow start. They won their first series. They haven't won one since. Here's the Rays batting order for the series finale. B.J. Upton, followed by Carl Crawford, Evan Longoria, Carlos Pena. Pat Burrell back in the lineup. He was scratched out of last night's lineup. Ben Zobrist, Deanna Navarro, Akinori Iwamura, and then Jason Bartlett enjoying his return to the Metrodome.
And let's take a look at the scouting report. Brought to you by me. Nick Blackburn making his fifth start of the year, relies on ground balls. His last outing against the Cleveland Indians, he got 21 outs. He worked 7 innings, 11 ground ball outs, 4 strikeouts. That's his game, making his second career start against the Rays. Not a good one last year when he faced the Rays in middle of September. He lost 11-1 to the Rays.
B.J. Upton leading things off for the Rays. In the last 4 ball games, make that the last 5 ball games that the Twins have played in, a team has scored in the first inning, and that team has gone on to win. So we'll see if Blackburn can put a 0 up here in the first, starting with Upton's at bat. Swinging a foul, and Morales, who extends that right leg out, or at least he did on that pitch, took a foul ball off his right leg.
You know, Dick, that was Gene Mauch's theory all the time. That's why, remember in '84, I think he was in L.A., he always tried to score first because the percentages are in the favor of the team that scores first to win the ball game.
I think if your lineup is functioning at 100%, if you're the Red Sox or the Twins have had it too, then well, maybe it's less of a concern. But a ground ball to short. Harris is there for the Twins, firing to Morneau, one away. Twins struggling to score runs right now. The lineup isn't firing on all cylinders, so see if they score first. Young, Span, and Cuddyer in the outfield. Different look to the infield. Creedy at third, Harris in for Punto at short. Casilla and Morneau on the right side. Morales making another start behind the plate. One gone. Here's Carl Crawford.
You know, so much of this game is a mental part of the game, and a team that scores first a lot of times, Dick, helps the pitcher. I mean, Liriano last night had a 2-0 lead after the first inning. You could see he almost relaxed a little bit and pitched a great ball game. If a pitcher is able to get runs early, it relaxes them. I think it relaxes the team too. That way, a guy like Ron Gardenhire can utilize his speed a little bit. He can do the little hit and running when they're up and maybe a run or two.
1-1 to Crawford. Ground ball toward the hole. Harris is there. Well, he's got a strong arm. We haven't seen it that much. Maybe from the right side of the infield at second base, but Harris getting a couple of ground balls early and rifling that ball across the infield. 2 down, and Longoria ahead.
I mentioned Blackburn making his 5th start of the year, an ERA right now at 4.44. 2 quality starts in his first 4 starts, coming off his last victory against the Indians, where the Twins won 5-1. Not a lot of walks, not a lot of strikeouts, but what you like to see is the innings out of Blackburn.
And strike 1 to Longoria. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. 0-2. Longoria off to a great start, the Rookie of the Year winner a year ago.
He's one of these hitters, the young hitters, that when his bat meets the ball, it seems to meet it in the right spot. Vladimir Guerrero can do that. Always get the barrel of the bat on the ball.
Punch to short right. And Casilla can't quite make the play and takes a tumble, and the ball lands in front of Cuddyer. A little pop fly between the second baseman and right fielder.
Well, that ball right there, you'd like to see Cuddyer come in a little bit harder right here. Now, Casilla goes a long way out, and Cuddyer maybe knew he could not get to it, and the only one that had a chance was Casilla, who had that's a great effort right there. He went a long way to try to catch that ball.
We've seen Longoria drive the ball. In fact, last night he did, to the gap in right center field, to the fence on the fly for an extra base hit. So, of course, the outfielder's playing deep. Here's Pena. And Blackburn steps off. In the series opener 2 nights ago, Scott Baker got the first 2 batters, and then the Rays got 3 straight hits and scored a couple of runs. And Blackburn wants to make sure that does not happen here in this first inning. Gets ahead of Pena, 1 strike.
Well, Blackburn's had so much success here at the Dome compared to the road. His only start against the Rays was in Tampa Bay last year, or in St. Pete, whatever they want to hear in that area, but it was in St. Pete. He's 8-3 here at the Dome, where on the road he's 4-11 so far in his young career.
1-1.
You know, and you say, whoa, why is he pitched so much better here than on the road? There's a lot of elements that go into it. You're comfortable here as far as the mound. You know what you're getting on the mound. You know your environment. On the road, that's all new to young pitchers. The mound, the atmosphere, everything.
Little roller towards second. Casilla has it. And 3 ground ball outs, just what Blackburn wants in a scoreless first inning. of this series, win back-to-back series against pretty good young ball clubs, and his Menard's batting order for the series finale, of course, has Denard Span leading off. Brendan Harris moving up into the number 2 spot. Justin Morneau hitting 3rd. Jason Kubel 4th. The top 4 hitters all doing well for the Twins. And Joe Creedy, Michael Cuddyer, Delman Young, Jose Morales, and Alexi Casilla.
And let's take a look at my scouting report for Scott Kashmir, making his 5th start like Blackburn is. He's the Rays all-time win leader, 50 wins. He won his 50th game in his last start against the Oakland A's, making his 6th career start against the Twins, where he's 2-3, 1-2 here at the Metrodome in 3 starts. This guy is a good pitcher. He's only 25 years old, already in his 6th season with the Rays.
Span hitting left-handers better than right-handers in the early going.
Twins offense has to have a lot of patience, especially early in the ball game against Kashmir, because he can be wild. Over his career, he's averaged over 4 walks per 9 innings, but he's also a strikeout pitcher, averaging 9.7 walks per 9 innings.
Span aboard with a leadoff single, sending it right up the box. Northland Ford defense for the Rays. Very fleet outfield, particularly in left and center. Crawford and Upton with tremendous speed. Zobrist getting right field. Pena, Iwamura, Bartlett, Longoria around the infield, and Navarro does the catching again tonight for Kashmir. Brendan Harris, the hitter. Harris getting the start at short in part because Nick Punto has really struggled against left-handed pitchers as a right-handed batter. For that matter, so has Alexi Casilla. But the Twins, with just 4 bench players to begin with, -1, Carlos Gomez now with the ball club, there are only so many things Ron Gardenhire can do to juggle the rotation or the starting lineup.
Harris, of course, a former Ray a couple years ago.
1-1.
He had a good year for the Rays back in 2007. Hit .286 in 137 ball games. A career high 12 home runs, career high 59 RBIs.
Bouncer to third. Longoria bobbles it. Comes up firing off target. It'll be an infield hit for Harris. Right over the bag. A tough chance for Longoria, and he couldn't quite make the play.
Sometimes you just hit the ball in the right spot. Harris a little out front of this pitch, and Longoria trying to backhand it right there on that short hop. Gets the ball because it hits off the turf, but the throw toward the infield side, and Carlos Pena gets it, but the Twins off to a good start.
And Morneau at the plate. Hit a home run in the first inning last night, his 5th of the year. His only hit of the series so far. And of course, drove in the game winner or the fielder's choice in the 9th inning. Outside, ball 1.
Kashmir likes to throw that fastball, and it's in the mid-90s. But again, erratic control at times, a hard breaking ball, and a circle changeup.
On the outside corner, a strike. Remember last night with the right-hander James Shields going, the Rays had an outfield shift, particularly in left field for Morneau, but now with the left-hander going, they're playing him more straight up.
Yeah, B.J. Upton, a lot like Vernon Wells of the Toronto Blue Jays, plays a very shallow center field, especially with a power hitter like Justin Morneau, a gap-type hitter that hits a lot of gaps for balls to left center. Well, I guess when you have that type of speed, you know how far and how quick you can go back.
2-1 to Morneau. Mighty swing and a miss, 2-2.
Well, that's that hard breaking ball from Kashmir. Kashmir, 2-time American League All-Star back in 2006 and last year.
Missing inside, a full count. do you do with the runners here? Cashmere's a strikeout pitcher. You move the runners or no?
Oh boy, that's tricky right here. I think with left-hander up and third base very easy to throw for the catcher. I think you keep Spam here at second base.
And Morneau fouls it back. Had a good rip. And it's another 3-2 pitch coming to Morneau.
Well, there's nobody out either. You want to let Kubel come up and hopefully Joe Creedy, if Justin's unable to maybe drive in a run right here or advance the runners. Showed you the numbers for Justin against Cashmere. 3 for 12 with a couple home runs.
3-2 to Morneau. Pulled down the line hard but foul.
Boy, he sped up his swing right there because that was a changeup. I don't think I would throw him in a changeup in this situation. I'd go hard at him. I think he got away with this one right here. Justin a little out front. He went to the changeup. And boy, Justin put a good swing on it, but just hooked it foul.
And he walked him. And Kubel will come up with the bases loaded here in the first inning. Good walk for Morneau. We talked about the importance of the walks last night. We'll see how important this one is.
Yeah, Joe Madden, the manager right there. In his 4th season as manager of the Rays.
Well, here's Kubel. A couple days ago, he joined us for the pregame show. I asked him about his great success in situations like this. He's already hit 5 grand slams in his young major league career. That's to the backstop. Spam scores, the ball thrown to the infield. So Cashmere uncorks a wild pitch for the first run of the game.
Well, that wild pitch, the 3rd wild pitch of this young season for Scott Cashmere. The ball bouncing back, but the speed of Denard Span ends up scoring the first run for the Twins. And of course, both runners advance. Harris moves to third, Morneau to second.
And another first inning run for the Twins. Pop fly down the right field line. Iwamura lets it drop. And a run scores. In the top of this inning, a ball dropped between Casilla and Kadir, where it looked like neither one could catch it. In this instance, it looked like either Iwamura or Zobrist could have caught this ball.
I think so far in this ballgame, we've seen 2 right fielders that haven't really taken charge. Zobrist right here, he's got to call Iwamura off right here. Instead, he held up, and that ball found turf. So it's a RBI single for Jason Kubel. He gets an RBI. Twins take a 2-0 lead.
Ray infield playing back with Creedy at the plate. Big swing and a foul back by Creedy. Driven foul. 2 strikes.
Brady 2 for 7 lifetime against Scott Cashmere. Cashmere coming off his 50th career win in his last start in Oakland, where he worked 6 shutout innings, allowed only 2 hits, 96 pitches in the 6 shutout innings.
2 strikes to Creedy. Outside a ball. Good take by Creedy. 2-2. Cashmere has yet to retire a batter. He's thrown 20 pitches. He's already given up a couple of runs and 2 more runners out there.
Well, you want to take advantage of a pitcher like this because he can get into a groove and put some zeros on the board. So you get in opportunities like this, you want to score, maybe keep adding on.
A high fly down the left field line.
You can run on Crawford.
Morneau setting up for a tag, and he's just bluffing, but the runner, Kubel, advances to second base. So Morneau drew the throw to Longoria, and Kubel takes the extra base.
Now, alert basin running right there by Jason Kubel. While Justin was tagging up, so was Jason over at first base. Now, Crawford not known for his arm. That ball was not deep enough to allow Justin to tag up and score. But it was deep enough to advance Kubel from first to second.
And now Kadire with 2 men in scoring position and 2 runners already in. Ground ball up the middle. Great stop by Bartlett. He'll have no play. An infield hit for Kadire, and it's 3-0.
You know, I went out on a limb tonight with the pick the stick. I picked Michael Kadire. He came in at bat 0 for 10. I figured he was due, and he was right here. Took a pitch right back up the middle. Bartlett shading him the pull a little bit. He has to dive for that ball, knock it down, realizing he has no play, hoping that Kubel would round third. Kubel stays at the bag, and Kadire gets an infield hit, his 7th RBI, and the Twins take an early 3-0 lead.
Tonight's game on Fox Sports North is also being presented in high definition. And for a complete listing of HD cable providers, go to foxsports.com, keyword North. I don't know how you survived all those years pitching. You must have had a lot of nights like this. Cashmere gave up a ground ball single up the middle to Span. A chopper by Harris. Dangerous hitter Morneau. He walks in. Kubel with a little pop fly down the line. Drops for a hit. Kadire with an infield hit. He's already behind 3-0, and he's only gotten 1 out.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. You know, the ball is hit in the right spot, like the second hitter of the inning, Harris. I mean, you know, that normally if it's hit over, you know, a couple feet, Longoria gets the out. Other things change, but he had to short hop that off the bat of Brendan Harris. He got an infield base hit.
I mean, you get 5 days to get ready for this, and you're prepared. You have a good bullpen. Your team hasn't won many series. You would like to think you're the guy who can pitch a good ball game here tonight and win them a series. And you haven't pitched poorly. Nobody's hit the ball hard, and you're behind 3-0.
Yeah, the sad part is you're waiting around for that ball to hit hard finally.
At somebody. 1-1 to Delman Young. Now a strike 1 and 2. 25 pitches already for Cashmere. Young fouls it to the backstop.
Cashmere last year made 27 starts, 12 wins, 8 losses, an ERA at 3.49. Started the season on a disabled list with a sore elbow. Was not activated until the first part of May.
One and 2 to Young. That's strike 3. Here comes a runner home. Kubel is safe at the plate. A pitch in the dirt. Young strikes out. The runners move up. It's 4-0.
Another wild pitch will be charged to the pitcher Cashmere. Great jump by Jason Kubel. Look at the pitch in the dirt. Delman Young swings through it. It gets away from Navarro. And then Kubel going into the plate, straight into the plate. Cashmere applies the tag, but he's able to get the foot on home plate.
Just got his toe on the plate before the tag, I guess. And perhaps importantly, too, Kadir moves to second base. 4-0 start for the Twins, and here's Morales taking outside. Morales getting a lot of playing time, in part because Mike Redmond's come up with a bad shoulder. And Morales has taken advantage of the increased playing time to continue to give the Twins good at bats. Navarro blocks that one, and it's 2-0. Redmond's shoulder issue has been an ongoing thing. Ron Gardenhire speculated today. Of course, he's not a doctor. He doesn't play one on TV. He just thought that, remember when Redmond had that little groin pull, that maybe his throwing mechanics got thrown out of whack and it affected his shoulder. At any rate, they've given Mike some time for the shoulder to quiet down in the hopes that he can stay off the disabled list.
And you need somebody to pick up that balance that isn't there with Joe Mauer. We're going to hopefully be activated here on Friday. And Morales has been that equalizer.
2-1 to Morales. Inside 3-1, and Cashmere wild pitches, walks, and a few scratch hits, we'll call them, along the way, and it's already 4-0, and he's thrown 31 pitches. And been a line drive in the inning.
Morales 4 for 9 as a right-handed hitter, hitting .444. Also hitting .355 as a left-handed hitter.
This was reminiscent of a Twins big inning a couple years ago when Jason Bartlett was one of the piranhas. Twins have scored 4 runs. They got another runner in scoring position, and really only one meaningful ball hit out of the infield. That was Span's opening single. Well, I guess Kubel's little pop fly single down the right field line. But the Twins haven't been slashing line drives all over the ballpark here in this first inning. Three and 2 to Morales. And Cashmere misses badly for his second walk of the inning. And 9 men will come to the plate here in the first. Here is Casilla. Casilla dropping down to 9th in the batting order because of his overall struggles, specifically as a right-handed batter. Little fly ball to left. And Crawford comes in to put an end to the inning. A good inning for the Twins, and a rugged one for Cashmere. It's 4-0 Twins. Thompson of St. Paul wondering, why do we think Nick Blackburn has more success in the Dome than on the road? And I think we kind of talked about that when he was out there in the first inning.
Well, yes, it's, you know, that was last year. Most of those numbers from last year. This year, he's made 2 appearances on the road. One in Chicago, one in Cleveland. Chicago, he didn't pitch all that badly. He just lost that ball game 6-1. He didn't get a lot of run support. That was a cold, wintry day. And then last time out on the road. So I think it's, you know, he's going to be around the ball teams and ball diamonds a little bit more. He's going to get a little more comfortable. I think we're going to see those numbers improve on the road. But here at the Dome, it's that comfort zone.
1-1. And 2-1. I want to throw out another factor, and it I think might impact Blackburn and any other sinker baller that comes in here. This turf is much more conducive for the success of a sinker ball pitcher than the other artificial turf. When you look back in recent years, they put the new turf in, I think the first year that Carlos Silva became a member of the starting rotation. Silva had a couple of good years here with the sinker ball. I don't know that would have been the case on the old artificial turf. There's a called strike to Burrell. And I was talking with some of the Twins players yesterday, Michael Kadire among them, wondering, you know, about this ballpark and the changes that this ballpark has undergone. There's a drive to right center field, and Burrell on a 3-2 pitch will get an extra base hit. It's a double for Burrell leading off the second inning.
Yeah, the turf definitely favors a sinker baller here now than it did, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. But those fastballs right down the middle, that doesn't favor a pitcher. That favors a hitter right there. Burrow with a double. He missed yesterday's ball game due to a stiff neck. He hits his 3rd double of the year, 2nd hit for the Rays. Now what Blackburn has to do right here is think it's still a 0-0 ball game, even though he's up 4-0.
Here's Zobrist, who probably will not get a get-me-over fastball on the first pitch. A breaking ball at the knees, a strike. Zobrist teed off on Nathan's first pitch fastball last night to tie the game.
Yeah, limited playing time, already 4 home runs with 10 RBIs.
Swinging a foul. Specifically, what Michael Kadire was wondering about is how this ballpark got the nickname the Homer Dome, when in his opinion this is not a home run hitter's ballpark.
Well, the dimensions are pretty fair, really. 343 down the left field line, 408 straight away. The Baggy out in right field at 327.
Kadire's contention is not that it's Death Valley out there, but to right center and to left center, you've got to hit the ball a long ways and very hard to get it over the fence for a home run.
I just wonder when they named it.
Well, I think it sounded nice, and
Homer Dome. Maybe because of Herbeck and Gaetti and everybody else.
Harris looks to third, throws to first. Zobrist retired for the first out of the inning. Saturday, NASCAR on Fox goes under the lights in Richmond, Virginia, where Clint Bowyer will try to defend his title against a full field of the world's best drivers. Coverage of the Sprint Cup Series racing from Richmond begins Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And let's see if I can figure that out. That would be 6 o'clock Central in high definition on Fox. Runner at third, 1 out, and here's Navarro. Blackburn has gotten 4 outs on 4 ground balls. Breaking ball, tapped foul.
Remember, Dick, too, I mean, when this place opened, it had no air conditioning.
Right.
So, you know, the balls were bouncing all over the place.
That was one of the things I told Michael is, and they had the short fence all the way around, just the 7-foot fence. There was no baggy and right. The springy artificial turf, no air conditioning. Up and away, 1-1. Navarro struggling to recover from a slow start. Check swing and a foul, 1-2. Blackburn by trade, not much of a strikeout pitcher, but he could use that or a pop-up here in this at bat.
Yeah, season high 4 strikeouts in that ball game. He pitched his last outing against the Indians, and over his career he's only averaged 3-4 strikeouts per 9, but doesn't hardly walk anybody.
Tried to clip the outside corner with a breaking ball, but missed. 2-2. Runner at third, 1 out. And Navarro pops it up to short left. Delman Young right on the chalk line. Makes the catch, out number 2. Not a pop-up, but a short enough fly ball to hold Burrell at third base.
Yeah, all Navarro had to do right there is just, hit it deep enough or hit it in the infield past the pitcher. It's an RBI right there. Instead, he got it underneath that ball a little bit. Delman was shading him a little bit toward the left field line, made the catch, and Pat Burrell has to stay at third base.
Here's Iwamura with a runner at third and 2 away. On the inside corner. Iwamura was the guy who was lucky to stay intact after Morneau hit that screaming ground ball at him in the 9th inning last night to end the game. Nice block by Morales.
Yeah, that was a rocket that Justin hit. I mean, if he's able to catch that cleanly, it's a double play. He just bobbled the ball because it would hit so hard.
The one question that lingered overnight was, should he have gone home once he could not have gotten the double play? Inside 2-1.
I think Morales got a pretty good jump from third base on that ground ball. It would have been a long throw, too, because it wasn't like he was playing in.
He was way back on the back line of the infield.
Right.
2-1 to the Rays second baseman. And now 3-1 with Jason Bartlett on deck. Of course, Joe Madden employed the 5 infielder setup, and it almost worked, with Morneau hitting it hard right at the second baseman. Casilla to his right, sets and fires. What a play! Alexi Casilla, what a great play to end the inning.
Wow.
To a great start with a 4-0 lead off ace Scott Kazmir. There's a reason why the guys really have had so far a great plan against a really good left-handed pitcher. And this guy right here, Denard Span, is a guy who started this off. His plan looking fastball and looking in with the fastball. You see him talking to himself. He gets the heater and he shoots it right back up the middle, right on time with Scott Kazmir. Kazmir's a guy that you have to have a plan and you have to stick with it early in a count, guys, because he can be very good. Although in the first inning, that's about as erratic as I've seen him, Dick and Bert.
Yeah, again, Ron, you know what? You have a fastball pitcher out there. He's going to try to establish that fastball early, and Denard got the count in his favor, got the fastball.
Bartlett comes up with a strong throw to get Span at first base, one down.
There's going to be a couple guys on our club that have different plans. Denard's looking for a heater, and he's going to be on the fastball. I don't know this for a fact, but I was watching Justin's at bat. He took a fastball in, he took a fastball away, and Dick, you mentioned it, he had a good swing on a changeup, and he had a really good swing on a 3-2 breaking ball. So to me, it looks like Kazmir has gotten him out with breaking pitches, and Justin might be sitting on him tonight.
Here's Harris. Hit a chopper down the line, and Longoria tried to make a very tough play and couldn't. And Harris was given credit for an infield hit. 1-0. And now 2-0. Now Kazmir talking to himself. You saw Span talking to himself in his first inning at bat. I'm not the world's best lip reader, but it looked like he was saying fastball, fastball. And now Kazmir talking to himself. Something I'm guessing you never did in your 23 years of baseball. Never once did you talk to yourself, did you?
I talk to myself all the time out there, and the scary part is sometimes I answered myself.
2-1. Whoa, watch out. Harris lost the bat, and we'll get it back with some stickum.
Jeff Hansen, the bat boy, will go retrieve the bat. Adam Hansen, excuse me.
So 2-2 now. Jason Kubel getting out of the way. And Kazmir goes for a little stroll. This afternoon, White Sox beat Seattle 6-3. Yankees are thumping first place Detroit 8-1 in the fifth. Cleveland shutting out Boston 5-0. And now 3-2. Where would the Yankees be without Nick Swisher? 2 more home runs. And Harris thought it was ball 4. Instead it's strike 3. 2 down.
Kazmir picks up his second strikeout of the ball game. Making his 129th Major League start. Again, 4 walks per 9 innings in his career. 9.7 strikeouts. So it tells me a young pitcher throws a lot of pitches in a short amount of time.
Morneau worked a walk to fill the bases in the first. He slices a base hit to left. Morneau, who's seen his batting average drop just a couple of ticks below 300 with that single, has nudged it back over 300.
Well, we've seen Justin over the years when he is swinging a hot bat. He hits a lot of balls just like he did right there. Doesn't go up there trying to pull everything. He knows he's going to basically try to just hit the ball back up the middle, let his hands do the work, and right there his hands delivered a line drive to left field.
Kubel with a big swing and a foul that peels the mask off Navarro. Kubel hit a little pop fly down the right field line, and Iwamura and Zobrist maybe got a little befuddled out there, and it dropped between them for an RBI single. Now a fastball for a strike. 0-2. Lines it foul.
Another fastball right there. I said Cashmere, a pitcher that throws a lot of pitches in a short amount of time. His 129th major league start, he has only one complete game, and that being a shutout back in 2006.
Two and two. Half swing. Did he go?
Oh,
no. Johan says no. Full count to Kugel.
He's turning this into a very good at-bat right here. Cashmere got ahead with two fastballs. Tried the breaking ball.
Pena smothers the second hop. Goes to the bag to end the inning. The Twins get a 2-out single from Morneau. Nothing up on the scoreboard. It's still 4-0. By Explore Minnesota. You can visit exploreminnesota.com and plan your next Minnesota vacation. You're looking at the waves and rugged shoreline of the north shore of Lake Superior. Don't see the lighthouse there. It's a wonderful drive for those of you who've not done it yet. I strongly recommend that you go up Highway 61 from Duluth all the way to the Canadian border. You'll go through Silver Bay, Lutzen, Grand Marais, Hovland. It is a beautiful, beautiful part of our great state.
Well, you pulled out the map right there. You got an Iowa map today, too.
I did. I got an Iowa map because I'm not sure what happened to my one last year. Morneau gets a nice pickup of that ground ball. Goes to first. And Bartlett with the head first slide is retired at first, one away.
Oh, nice play. You like to have your first baseman go to his right, meaning that he will take that ball that's headed towards second base. It's your responsibility as a pitcher to get over there and get to the bag. Justin spins, flips it over to Blackburn, and he's able to put that foot on the bag before Bartlett can slide across the bag head first.
7 outs for Blackburn, 6 ground ball outs, and the little pop fly caught by Young down the left field line. Upton takes a strike. One and one. And a strike.
Blackburn, 27 years old, in his third season with the Twins. Last year an 11-game winner and 33 starts. Led the team in innings pitched, 193 and a third.
2-2 to Upton.
Only 39 walks last year for Blackburn, 96 strikeouts.
Flipped foul.
I think once the Rays start to play better baseball, you're going to see Upton start swinging the bat a little bit better. Crawford. These are the table setters for the middle part of the Rays lineup. Upton starting the season on a disabled list, starting off very slowly.
3-2. That's to short center. Span hustling in, and he's got to play it on a hop. It bounces high and comes back down to him. A little pop fly single for Upton with one out in the third. This Friday night, it's fishing day at the Dome. The Wisconsin opener is the next day. The Minnesota opener the following Saturday. Not only is Rapala handing out 5,000 Justin Morneau lures to the first 5,000 fans 18 and older, but you can be part of a pregame event. And here's some fishing stories from the likes of Ken Herbeck. $19 gets you a ticket to the game. You get a chance to see Sidney Ponson pitch for the Royals. Pre-game fishing events included. Call 800-33-TWINS. Here's Carl Crawford. And the pitch is outside, ball one.
That'll be Kevin Slowey against Sidney Ponson. Slowey off to a very good start. 3-0. Ponson 0-3 so far for that Kansas City Royal Ball Club. Playing very good baseball.
Upton goes, and the pitch slashed to left field. A base hit. Young juggles it momentarily and throws it into second base. So a pair of one-out hits, first and third, setting the table for Evan Longoria.
Well, that's what I was talking about with Upton. Start off slow. If he can get on base, you're going to see things happen. And right there, a little hit and run. Crawford taking it the other way. All of a sudden, you have runners at first and third, one out.
Longoria got the first hit. Look at the Firestone leaderboard. Longoria's hit was a single, but he's an extra base hit machine. A lot of power, a lot of doubles and home runs. And right now, Blackburn would like to get him to hit the ball on the ground at somebody. Get an inning-ending double play. He bounced into one last night. Ooh. Crawford had thoughts of thievery.
Yeah, even though they're down 4-0, this is still a running ball club. Crawford with 7 stolen bases, and the Rays with 27 stolen bases in 31 attempts.
Swing and a miss.
Good sinking fastball right there. Ron Coomer.
I was listening to what you were saying before the ball game. I had a chance to talk to one of my old coaches, George Hendricks. You nailed it right on the head. They're looking for good quality at bats from the leadoff 2 guys, which we just saw 2 hits, but he expects them to run. Everybody but probably Burrell in their lineup, they are not afraid to get them in motion, and because they haven't been swinging as well, expect them to run even more with the whole combination. Twins not throwing anybody out and them not scoring as many runs.
Yeah, Ron, I mean, that's their type of baseball. You know, create havoc for that pitcher with Crawford at first. You're thinking about him. Blackburn's thrown over already. There he goes. And Longoria fouls it off.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Don't you get the impression, as I have, that that's the trend in baseball now? I mean, we saw the Red Sox. They've got Ellsbury in the top of their lineup, and they are constantly telling him to run and run at every opportunity. That's more and more the emphasis of more teams' offensive approach.
To be honest, the steroid era hopefully is behind baseball. So you're going to see more speed. You're going to see more hit and running. You're going to see more of small ball to create runs.
Chopper to Creedy, and he throws to second and gets Crawford.
That's a great play right there by Creedy. With Crawford running, there weren't much chance. He had to get rid of that ball perfect.
Well, you take a speedy runner and you eliminate him from being in scoring position, and Longoria reaches it first.
Well, watch Crawford right here. Let's see if he really runs hard right here. And I think that's what Creedy saw, that Crawford wasn't really hustling towards second and ended up getting the lead runner. Now on the play, Longoria scores Upton. He picks up his 19th RBI. But instead of a runner at second, now you have a runner at first and 2 outs.
Breaking ball over for a strike.
I think right now in the dugout you're seeing Joe Madden go over and talking to Crawford about just that he didn't hustle into second base and it cost them an out. Little plays like that early in this season it's costing these guys victories.
And isn't it funny, all the talent in the world in so many games are determined by just little things like that.
Yes.
1-1.
Well, that's why Joe Madden, again, he's out of the Angel organization. Mike Scioscia believes that's his theory. You play the game hard. You bust your tail end from base to base, no matter if you're running from home to first or first to second. You play the game the right way. And you saw Madden go down there and say something to Crawford, as Ron Gardenhire would.
Pena with a big uppercut swing and a swing and a miss. Pena bounced to second his first time up. And we talked at length through the first 2 telecasts about the high percentage and increasing percentage of strikeouts. 24 strikeouts in 79 at bats. Just a little over 1 every 3 at bats.
But he's a home run hitter. You know, this guy is going to strike out. He's also, when he makes contact, he can hit the ball a long way.
Longoria goes. Called third strike. Inning over. So the Rays get 1 back. It's 4-1. Nissan game reset. The Twins scoring 4 first-inning runs and lead at 4-1.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you score as long as you score. Twins able to scratch some hits in here or there. An RBI single by Jason Kubel.
And now Creedy drives one through the gap into right center field. A leadoff double for Creedy. He went down and golfed that ball to the gap in right center. Creedy aboard in scoring position. Let's go find Robbie Ince-Mikowski.
You know, Dick, it's a good segue here. Joe Creedy hitting the timely double for the Twins. Time to talk about the Twins and runners in scoring position. Last night they went 1 for 8 with guys on second or third base. That kind of bucked the trend. In their losses this season, they batted just .091 with runners in scoring position. In their wins, they batted a whopping .375. We talked at Quest Twins Live pregame show tonight. Michael Kadire, what's the strategy? Here it is. Runner on second, no outs. Bert, since you spent as many years as you did at pro baseball, you explain the strategy right here to get Creedy home.
Well, all Michael Kadire wants to do, thank you very much, Robbie, is get Creedy over. Hit a ground ball to second, hit it to first, do something. Base hit to right field, whatever it takes. You want to try to inside out that ball. You know, Ron Coomer, you're down there. You were talking about facing a left-hander or any pitcher. When you see Creedy do what he did with that at-bat, That's a lot of batting practice. That's working on that.
Well, as you know, we've been talking about Creedy and the right-handed bats, all of us, for probably the last 3, especially this homestand. When you look at what Joe's been trying to do in BP and what he's done here is letting the ball get to him and then driving it back to the middle of the field. In the pregame show, we showed a bunch of hits to the middle of the field off lefties. If Joe Creedy lets that ball get back, he's really going to be dangerous.
Leonard Navarro having a tough time catching the ball in this series. That ball, he had some wild pitches in the first inning, but that ball got to him on the fly and bounced out of his glove.
Yeah, that might be a pass ball. Again, you have a young pitcher like Kashmir. He throws hard, but his, control is not the best. You see Navarro, he wants that ball in, and the ball goes down and away. A ball that should have been caught right there. And a break for the Twins allows Joe Creedy to go from second to third.
3-1 now to Kadire with the infield now in. And Kadire checks his swing and draws a walk. First and third. Nobody out.
Well, good at bat right there for Kadire. Third walk of the ball game for Scott Kashmir.
And that'll bring up Delman Young. Young struck out, but the way the night has gone for Kashmir and for the Twins, it worked out fine in the Twins' favor because Kashmir threw a breaking pitch in the dirt. A wild pitch was ruled, and Jason Kubel came in from third base. Swing and a miss.
Well, we talked about home runs. The Twins so far on the season, only 16 home runs. They'd like to see some long balls out of this guy's bat right here. He has one, that coming in Chicago off of the left-hander Mark Burley.
1-1.
Delman in his rookie season with the Rays back in 2007, 13 home runs. Last year, 10 home runs in his first season with the Twins. Twins still feel this guy is a guy that can hit 25-30 home runs.
Rays infield playing for a ground ball double play. And this one lifted to right field. Zobrist, former shortstop, comes up firing. And the throw to the plate, not in time. Creedy with a slide, and if his foot didn't get home plate, his hand did. A sacrifice fly just deep enough off the bat of Delman Young.
Now Zobrist putting a very good throw from deep right field, gets behind the ball and then lets it fly. Good line drive throw. And Joe Creedy, good slide on the foul side of home plate. And he scores the 5th run of the ballgame for the Twins. So the Twins able to get that run back that the Rays scored in the top of the inning.
And now Morales drew a walk his first time up. Morales drawing rave reviews for how he has responded with an increase in playing time. Now, as a backup, Morales had some productive days and some non-productive days. What you want to see from a player, given an opportunity like this over a span of 4 or 5 days, is exactly what Morales has done. Seize the opportunity.
Take advantage of it. Yep.
A squirter to the right side. And Bartlett comes up with a low throw, and Pena, the Gold Glove winner at first, backhands it out of the dirt. And the Rays get a double play, but the Twins going to run. 5-1 lead. Wendy's is proud to present the All-Metrodome team. And you can vote right now only at twinsbaseball.com. You get to help select the roster of the Twins greats that played in the Dome. The All-Metrodome team presented by Wendy's will be released later this summer. It's a drive to left center field and down for a hit. Base hit for Burrell, his second of the ball game. Remember, twinsbaseball.com is the only place you can cast your vote. And with us to talk about the balloting and the process, Twins president Dave St. Peter. When you think about all the great baseball that we've seen here in this ballpark, all the great players, as anxious as everybody is to look forward to Target Field, it's kind of nice to step back and realize that we've had some great players here.
Well, Dick, you're exactly right. And that's really what we've been trying to do this entire season, to look back at the great moments, the great teams. And this is really an effort to look back at the players who have really meant so much to the fans and have a little fun doing it. I think it creates some water cooler discussion about who is the greatest Twin at first base, second base, third base, shortstop, etc. in the Metrodome era.
Well, you see that list, Dave. I mean, 28 years, Twins have had a lot of great players that have come through the organization, and a lot of them like Kirby Puckett, Ken Herbeck, that played their whole career here.
That's correct. And, there's some no-brainers. I think it's safe to say Kirby Puckett is going to be in the lineup. But even if you think at first base, and I think most people would think Ken Herbeck is a shoe-in, but, we got a guy over there playing first base right now that is pretty good. So, it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of debate. Starting pitching, Bird, is going to be a big debate between the Santanas, the Violas, the Blylevens, the Radkes. A lot of fun, and that's what it's supposed to be this summer, thanks to our friends at Wendy's.
Bouncer foul, 2-1, and it is an All-Metrodome team. If you were to take the career numbers for Mr. Blyleven, let's say, well, of course he'd be in as a starting pitcher, but in reality, you pitched just 4 years for the Twins
here
in this ballpark.
3.5.
You did.
So you've got to take that into consideration. And fans, 2-1 pitch to Zobrist, a called strike, can vote up to 25 times. So what I said last night as we were talking about Ron Coomer, you can take your first base votes, right? And you can split them. You don't have to give all 25 to Ken Herbeck.
We're trying to get votes for Ron Coomer.
That's what we're trying to do here.
All right.
Slap foul, but you could go 15 for Herbeck, 9 for Morneau, and 1 for Ron Coomer if you wanted to, right?
Well, I've already bribed Anthony LaPanta, and he gave
25?
me a vote yesterday, so I got 1 at least, Dave.
Coom, you've got my vote too, buddy.
Oh, you got 2.
And my nephew's coming later in the year, so that'll be 4, so that's good. I'll call it good.
You're a shoe-in, Ron.
2-2 to Zobrist, and a high fly to center. Span lopes back, now across for the first out. Who came up with the 5 shortstops, the 5 third basemen, and how in the world did you limit this ballot here?
We actually started this process last October, and we brought in a committee. It was really 3 what we would consider to be historians on Twins baseball. Of course, Tom Mee, the longtime media relations director for the Twins, Dave Mona, and Stu Thornley. And we really let them kind of go at this thing and kind of pare down the list. And we ended up with the ballot we ended up with. And there were some tough calls on who should be on the ballot, or what position do you put John Castino at, or an Al Newman, or even a Roy Smalley. But we think we landed with a pretty fair and equitable ballot.
Navarro tries to bunt his way aboard, bunts it foul, 1 strike.
Now the fans can vote how?
Fans can vote exclusively, Bert, at twinsbaseball.com. It's very simple. Just like they'd be filling out an all-star ballot there. They can vote up to 25 times, and the fan voting represents 1/3 of how we're going to pick this team. We also allow the Upper Midwest media to have a vote, and then in addition to that, we have a veterans committee that will be made up of former Twins players from this era, as well as members from the front office, etc. And I think, I'm not mistaken, I think Ron Coomer is one of those former players.
Oh,
so there's another vote for Ron.
There's another one.
Vote for himself.
That's exactly right.
2 strikes to Navarro. Dick Bramer, Burt Blyleven, joined by Twins president Dave St. Peter. Here's a drive to right field, and Kadair in the gap makes the catch. Out number 2. Don't know exactly what to make of it, but now Blackburn's getting some outs on fly balls rather than ground balls.
Well, you know what, the prior pitch to Navarro, he threw him a very good curveball, and that fastball right there got in on Navarro a little bit, and he just couldn't get the barrel of the bat out and hit that fly ball.
When you think about it, we've had, sad to say, more indoor baseball here in the Upper Midwest than we've had outdoor baseball. And some great players have a chance to be part of the All-Metrodome team, and that'll be announced later this summer. Strike one, I'm assuming, Dave, there'll be a ceremony, and a lot of these players will be invited to come, right?
What the plan is, the voting will run through July the 5th, and then we're going to announce the team in early August and bring back the team and formally introduce them here as part of the ceremonies following the final regular season game on Sunday, October 4th.
Very nice.
2 strikes to Iwamura.
Dave, what's your most favorite moment or most memorable moment here in 28 years?
Well, I mean, obviously I've only been here, for 20 of them, Burton, but it's hard for me to personally top the 1991 Game 6 or Game 7.
Right.
I wasn't part of the organization in '87. As a fan, that was wonderful, but for me personally, it had to be '91. And of course, the final game in '06 was pretty memorable for a lot of reasons as well.
1 and 2 to Iwamura, who took a very close pitch.
I think the biggest thing, and you can attest to this, it's the fans that really create the atmosphere, what you're talking about in '91 and also 2006.
And that's what this program's about, getting the fans involved. Thanks, guys.
Our thanks to Twins president Dave St. Peter. Blackburn gives up a leadoff single, then gets 3 fly ball outs. Baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by Quest. Get free 2 gigs online backup service with Quest high-speed internet. By Grand Casino Mille Lacs and Grand Casino Hinckley. Expect grand. And by Chrysler. From power and efficiency to innovation and style, it's the way our vehicles come together that sets us apart. Chrysler. Alexi Casilla with 1 strike as he leads off the bottom of the 4th against Scott Kazmir. Now a ball, 1-1. Kazmir faced 9 men. Casilla, the 9th man to hit against him in the first inning when the Twins scored 4 runs. Had a much, or at least he has so far, had a much easier trip through the Twins batting order the second time.
Yeah, 34 pitches in that first inning. He threw 17 in the second and 13 in the third.
2-1. Casilla made a great defensive play to end the second inning. And sometimes it happens, a player's struggling and your mind starts working on you and you feel like you're not helping your team, and you do something in the field and sometimes that lets you relax a little bit at the plate. We'll see. Not this time. He takes a called 3rd strike, 1 away.
Kazmir picks up his 3rd strikeout to go with his 3 walks.
Now last night we got the correct answer in a roundabout way on the Aflac trivia question. Very roundabout way. Since divisional play began, which pitcher has had the most strikeouts before age 25? Since divisional play. Does that mean since 1969? Here's a drive to right field. Up, back and off the wall. Span has 2. He'll have 3. Denard Span with a 1-out triple.
I still think in a game of baseball, a triple is more exciting than maybe a home run because the fans get to watch that player run. And then when you have a speedster like Span, you get to watch him find that extra little speed sometimes as he rounds first and he sees that that ball is hit off the baggie. Zobrist goes back. Then the ball gets away from him. That's what that Denard sees that. Look at that right there. Hustles in the third. His first triple of the year. And it's a 1-out triple here in the 4th inning.
And it brings the infield in for Harris. Strike 1. Fastball that covers the inside corner. Just one footnote on Span's, no pun intended, on his slide into third base. He always slides in feet first. The only time he goes in hands first is when he's going back to a bag on a pickoff move. But he does not use the head first slide. And for those of us who've seen so many players over the years get injured with that head first slide, that's kind of nice to see. 1-1. Ron Comer, in a relatively short time, Denard Span seems to have achieved almost veteran status. He carries himself, it seems, like a veteran.
Well, Dick, you're exactly right. And the one thing about Denard is his work ethic, as we see every day in batting practice and in the outfield work, is so good. I've been watching him the last few days in this homestand of working on, if they're throwing him in, just dropping the barrel down. If they throw him away, shooting the ball in that hole between short and second, or between short and third. And tonight, his plan, obviously, in the first inning, his first at bat was hit the fastball and hit the fastball in. Kazmir missed his spot in the middle of the plate, and he drove it in.
Harris reaches across the plate and spanks a single to left, driving in Span, and it's 6-1.
Yeah, Harris picking up his second hit of the ball game. Thank you, Ron Coomer, and Span scoring for the second time in a ball game. Harris picking up his 3rd RBI of the year. Just went down. You can see basically the left hand leave the bat, but that's after contact. Nice solid swing right there by Brendan Harris.
Morno's reached twice with a walk and a solid single to left. A high fly to right center field. Zobrist back, high off the wall. Harris around third. He'll score. Morno at second with an RBI double. Missed a home run by about 2 feet.
Twins wanting an opportunity to open up this ball game. He jumps on a fastball right there. Hits it high off the baggie. Zobrist goes to the bag, but it's a center fielder, Upton, that has to barehand the ball to get it back in.
You guys talk about some Twins hitters putting some A swings on an A pitcher. Scott Kazmir is not an easy guy to hit. He's been wild tonight, and they have put some great swings on the ball tonight.
Chopper to the right side. Morno will advance. Iwamura fumbles it and throws it away. Morno comes around. He'll score. And the Rays not looking like defending American League champions tonight.
Tom Kelly always said, don't panic. Right here, this ball, nice big hop, has a little trouble juggling in the ball, and then trying to hurry his throw it past the diving Pena into the dugout. And it'll be an error, 2 errors on Aramira.
And an 8-1 lead, and Creedy will hit. Out in front, strike 1. The Twins with a 4-run first that was started by a Denard Span single. So far, a 3-run fourth, and Span started this rally with a 1-out triple. Creedy to right field, and Zobrist makes the catch, out number 2.
Yeah, I said the ball went into the dugout. It did not go into the dugout. The first error was the overthrow at first base, and the bobble that should have been an out, and then the overthrow allowing Justin to score from third. That's where the second error came from.
Here's Kadire, who's reached twice with a single and a walk. Fastball off the outside corner. Activity in the Rays pen. Lance Cormier. It's just been one of those nights for Kazmir where from the opening at bat on, it was apparent nothing was going to go right for him. And he has contributed to his demise here tonight, if in fact it is his demise. Couple of wild pitches, walks.
Well, the strike to ball ratio, not very good. 82 pitches thrown, 46 strikes, 36 balls. You'd like to throw 2 strikes to every ball thrown.
3-0 to Kadire with Young on deck. And a 4-pitch walk, and another free pass issued by Kazmir. After the last inning, Kazmir and home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman had a cordial but extended chat as Kazmir was coming off the mound. And
well, Joe Madden right there kind of saying, you know, one more hitter. We'll give him one more hitter.
And the hitter's Young, who was struck out. A run scored on a wild pitch and then drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. Fouled away, a strike. Two aboard for Young with 2 away in the 4th. And now 2 strikes.
Well, good swing right there. Foul is straight back.
You might not have recognized the name of Patrick Schuster, a high school kid from Florida who threw 4 straight no-hitters before somebody finally got a hit against him last night. Well, Kazmir did the same thing years ago. Threw 4 straight no-hitters in high school.
Cypress Falls High School out of Houston, Texas. They say he did not start pitching until he was 12 years old, which I think is a good thing. Came up at a very young age, number 1 pick by the Mets back in 2002.
1-2.
Just struggling here tonight.
And he strikes out Young to end the inning, but another good inning for the Twins. It started again with a Denard Span hit. 3-run score for the Twins, and it's 8-1. couple of weeks ago. Nick Blackburn will take all the run support he can get. And the first pitch to Bartlett off the end of the bat. Harris quickly to Morneau, one away.
Boy, and that's what you like to see too, is those one pitch outs. You can get into the 6th and 7th a lot easier.
Back to our trivia question. I'm assuming this goes back to divisional play, meaning back to 1969.
I'm going to say me.
Okay. Well, yeah. 1,327 strikeouts before your 25th birthday. Wow.
Well, I came up at 14.
Now, are those the strikeouts you were responsible on the mound, or does that include the ones at the plate?
Well, if there were ones at the plate too, I'd be about 1,600.
Really? 1 and 1. Well, that's a lot of strikeouts. 1,000, what, 500?
1,327. It's in the media guide for the Rays. That's why I knew.
Hard ground ball to Harris. 2 down. When you think about it, it was a big deal. I remember I was here when you reached the 3,000 strikeout club, and nearly half of those were before your 25th birthday.
Well, I was only that happened in '86, so I was only 5 when it happened. So 10 years, I got another 1,700 strikeouts. It's good California math, isn't it?
Here's a drive to left field. Young is there, and Blackburn has a quick 1-2-3, 5-pitch 5th inning. Admittedly, this is going to sound like a stupid question, but it's not the first time I've asked one of those either. Lance Cormier, the new Tampa Bay pitcher. But did you ever feel bad when you struck somebody out? Maybe a 19-year-old kid in his major league debut, and his knees are shaking, and you strike him out with that big curveball. Did you ever really feel for the victim of one of your strikeouts?
Well, that 19-year-old kid probably took me deep somewhere later on, and I don't think he felt bad that he took me deep. So no, I did not. Not at all. You see the numbers of Cormier making his 9th relief appearance. He's kind of a long man for the Rays out of that bullpen.
Morales strikes out, opening the 5th inning, and let's go down to Robbie Ince-Mikowski.
Dick, thank you very much. This Friday is a big day for us at Fox Sports North. And what we do with regard to technology, it's Twitter Day. It's also the return of Joe Mauer. Get up-to-the-minute updates on Twitter. Become a follower on Twitter. All throughout the day, you'll find out everything that's going on with us at Fox Sports North. You'll see our daily agenda after our morning conference call, what all the announcers talk about, the producers. But you'll find out what's going on with Joe Mauer, what's going to happen. Are we going to get a one-on-one with him? We don't know that at this point in time, but if we do, if you're a follower on Twitter, you'll know before everyone else knows if we should get anything. Go to twitter.com/FSNorth and become a follower, Dick Bremer.
I saw some of the video of the teleconference. We're in our hotels, wherever we are. We're at home. We're struggling with a cup of coffee. The producers at the conference table. Did you see that? Breakfast is catered. They got pastries all over the table when they meet.
No way.
Yes.
And we're sitting in a hotel room in Cleveland.
And these guys are getting breakfast. At least that's the way it looked to me. It looked like they were getting all sorts of, exotic pastries that are presented to them, the finest coffees in the world, grapes being fed to our producers while we're in a hotel room in Cleveland.
I can see Jeff Bile right now feeding Anthony LaPanta some grapes.
Here's Denard Span. Single and a run scored in the first, and a triple and a run scored.
You're picturing
in the fourth. Yes.
Anthony laying down.
Bile's going to squash you like a grape, Y11. Are you going to tweeter, whatever the heck you call this new? We're too old for this.
Well, you know what? I am from the old school. I'm sorry. I just turned on my computer the other day and didn't realize that I had to push another button to get something else on. I do text, though.
2 and 2.
And you text. I believe you text.
Yeah.
But I know this new technology to get to the younger fans. This is what baseball wants to get to. They want to get these young fans involved in Major League Baseball, whether it's the Twins or whatever.
Span hacks it foul.
And I think that's a good thing.
Before the game today, Paul Molitor was here, and Paul spent a lot of time working with Denard Span.
I thought you were going to say he twitters.
No, he may. I don't know. Conversation didn't get that involved, but I asked him what impressed him about Span, and he said Span, with another base hit, his third, recognized early on when he was in the minor leagues what it was going to take for him to succeed at the major league level, what kind of a player he would be, and what he needed to work on. And it took a lot of work in the minor leagues. He's got one of the more discerning eyes at the plate. That does not come naturally. That comes with a lot of work. And Denard very early on was able to determine that that was going to be his ticket to the major leagues. And that's what impressed the Hall of Famer Molitor the most about Span.
Well, and you have to credit Denard Span, too, for going down back to the minor leagues year after year. When he was a #1 pick, everybody expected him to be at the major league level, after his third or fourth year. He went to AA a couple times, AAA a couple times, had success there. Okay, when do I get my chance? When do I get my chance? And finally he got it last year when Michael Kadire got hurt, and he took advantage of it. And now he's a leadoff hitter for the Twins.
Harris with a pair of hits. And missing inside. 2-1.
A lot of people feel sometimes these major league players, they wake up one day and they're major leaguers. No, it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of frustrating, sometimes, games and seasons.
Iwamura with a nice pickup, and he throws to first to end the inning. Span gets his third hit. The Twins are scoreless in the fifth, but they lead at 8-1.
State Lottery Winner's Circle. I have Leanne here with her kids, Jacob and Ethan. It's their first game here with the Minnesota Twins. Whose first game is it, Leanne?
Jacob and Ethan's first game.
Oh, it's both of your sons' first games. Well, guess what I have for you? As your special prize, we have $100 in Minnesota State Lottery tickets, and your boys have been circled by Bert. How does that make you feel, Jacob? You pretty excited about it, bud? Having fun at your first Twins game?
Yes.
Say, Bert, back to you, bud.
Okay.
Okay.
Say, Bert, back to you. Let's try it again. Say, Bert, back to you.
Go back to.
Very good.
Future broadcasters right here.
Yes. Thank you, Robbie.
And like so many of us, we need to be told 3 times what to say.
Good slow breaking ball right there by Blackburn. Doing a great job of getting ahead in the count. Coming into this inning, 20 batters, 16 first pitch strikes. Oh, curveball just missing.
2-2 to Longoria. He'll be followed by Pena and Burrell. And Blackburn gets a strikeout to start the 6th.
Well, he stayed with that breaking ball, threw a lot of those to Longoria, and that breaking ball becomes almost a changeup. And good break right there, good location, and Blackburn picks up his 2nd strikeout.
1 gone, and here's Carlos Pena. Bouncer to 2nd, and then he was called out on strikes to wrap up the 3rd inning. Rays got a run in that inning. A pair of 1-out singles by Upton and Crawford. Big swing and a miss. Now you look at the Rays, and I've been mentioning Pena and his high strikeout number, but coming into the game, 165 strikeouts in 717 at bats. Now that's somewhere between a strikeout every 4 or 5 at bats. That seems high to me. Out of every 4 to 5 at bats, there's a strikeout. That just seems like a pretty high number.
What are the Twins at? Can you compare that to the Twins?
The Twins have struck out 133 times in 705 at bats, and even that seems high. Speaking of high, a fly ball to right that eventually will come down into Kadyr's glove. 2 down. And Blackburn has set down 8 in a row.
I think you have to look at their lineup, Dick, other than maybe Pat Burrell, who has a lot of experience. A lot of these guys are still young.
Yeah.
Very young guys.
Burrell with 2 hits, 2 of the 5 against Blackburn tonight. And an off-speed pitch, a breaking ball over for a strike.
Burrell, one of the young older players, a veteran, 10th season at the major league level. He came up with the Phillies at 32 years old.
There's only one team in the league coming into play today that has more strikeouts than the Rays, and that's the Cleveland Indians, the team the Twins just beat. And let me check that. The Texas Rangers, too, have more strikeouts. The Angels have just struck out 104 times coming into play today. 1-2 to Burrow.
Blackburn this inning seems like he's working on that breaking ball more than he is the good sinking fastball.
Indians have had a lead. Now the Red Sox have come back to tie it up once they got into that Indian bullpen. Missing inside.
Now that's that good two-seamer right there that has some good run in on those right-handers.
You know what we've seen from Blackburn, when he's missed generally low and out of the strike zone. A high pop-up down the left field line. Young makes the catch. Another 3 up, 3 down inning, 9 in a row set down by Nick Blackburn. Time now for the Coors Light Freeze Cam.
Well, the Twins in the first inning, Cashmere really struggled with his control right there. Jason Kubel scoring the 4th run of that first inning. And a strikeout by Delman Young, and then a wild pitch. Kubel able to get that foot on the plate.
And Nick Blackburn pitching well with the lead most of the night. And Justin Morneau will take his swings against Cormier. Morneau, Kubel, and Creedy. And he dumps one into left field for a base hit. Takes the big turn but holds up. Might be the last game Justin Morneau will hit third for a while. Twins have an off day tomorrow, and it's assumed that Joe Mauer will be back on Friday and back in his 3rd spot in the batting order, and Morneau will slide down to 4th.
You see that little bit of a smile right there on Justin. You expect him to pull the ball, but again, when that bat starts to turn for him, and it's game in and game out, he starts hitting the ball the other way. Those numbers, that's why he hit an even 300 last year with all that power. 129 RBIs last year for Justin.
Morneau's reached all 4 times tonight. Kubel has reached twice, once in a single, once on an error. And a chopper that Jerry White wants nothing to do with. Jason Bartlett, we're told now, left the ball game with left hamstring tightness.
Ben Zobrist came from right field, took over at short, and Gabe Gross was out in right field.
And Kubel drives one to left center, hanging in the air, and a nice running catch by Crawford for the first out of the inning. Scott, game break, and let's take you to the south side of Chicago. Game this afternoon, series finale between the Mariners and the White Sox. Game tied at 3, and then Carlos Quentin did that. Quentin off to a great start, and then Jermaine Dye did that. And the White Sox ended up taking the series 2-1. They were rained out one day, had a split doubleheader yesterday, and the White Sox won the nightcap here this afternoon. Iwamura takes it himself. Couldn't get the ball out of his glove. 4 unassisted at first base. I'm not sure I've seen that before.
I don't know if you have a Twingo, if you're playing Twingo, if that's on your card. Maybe 4 unassisted at second base, but not too many 4 unassisted at first base. Watch this ball right here. Kind of gets stuck in his glove, and he beats Creedy to the bag. That was it Terry Mulholland that had that ball come back to him and stuck in his glove, and he ended up throwing the glove and the ball to the first baseman.
For the out, it counted as an out.
Yep.
Here's Michael Kadire. So Creedy kind of cheated on a check swing. He's retired. And the runner Morneau goes to second base. Up and away, ball 1.
Cormier, 28 years old, signed as a free agent over the winter by the Rays. 2008, he is with the Baltimore Orioles.
Line foul. Kadire has reached all 3 times, and so it's nice to see some of these Twins hitters span with 3 hits. Harris with 2 hits. Morneau's reached all 4 times. Kadire with a pair of walks and a single. Twins trying to get back to the 500 mark and finish the month of April at 500. Since they're not playing tomorrow, we'll start a fresh month on Friday night against the Royals. And as you turn the calendar page, the Twins finally will be able to welcome Joe Mauer back to the lineup, or so it would appear. Three and 1 to Kadire. Drew a couple of walks in the series opener, and has drawn a couple tonight. 3 and 2. Bounce to the right side. Pena gobbles it up, and that ends the inning. The Twins leave Morneau at second base after his leadoff single to the seventh of the Twins, up by 7. To the Twins.
Well, the Twins able to put 4 runs on the board in the first inning. A little misjudgment right there by the defense. Michael Kadire with an infield base hit. That scored Justin Morneau. And then in the 4th inning, Twins kind of open it up. Brendan Harris with a base hit. Justin Morneau hitting one high off the baggie. Scores Harris from first base. And the Twins have a comfortable 8-1 lead starting here in the top of the 7th.
Here's Zobrist. Blackburn starts him inside, ball 1. Zobrist hit the home run last night against Joe Nathan. Tonight 0 for 2. Bouncer to short and a fly to center. Off-speed pitch missing, 2-0. This game obviously wraps up this series. And then there's one more series between these two teams. This one obviously the end of April. The Twins play in Tampa the end of May, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And we've gone on record, both of us, that just doesn't seem right that you could be done with an opponent before you get into the summer months. But you have to accommodate interleague play. And originally they tried to do that by having a lot of 2-game series, and you still visited every city twice, and nobody liked that.
Well, it's our next road trip. We're going to Baltimore.
Yep.
For one time for 2 games, like we did with Boston at Fenway Park. It's not right.
Bouncer to second, and Casilla has a carom out of the glove. Zobrist will get credit for a base hit, leading off the 7th inning. Target Field opens in 2010, and demand for group outings will be at an all-time high. Groups that purchase a suite or a group of 25 or more during the 2009 season will establish their priority for booking groups in 2010. All 2009 groups of 25 or more receive big discounts on game tickets and concessions. So call the Twins. Get more info. 833 Twins if you'd like. Visit twinsbaseball.com/groups for information. Now to left center field, and that'll land safely. A base hit for Navarro, and the Rays start the 7th inning with a couple of seeing eye hits.
Well, Delman Young was really shading Navarro down that left field line, so it left that big gap out in left center, and that's exactly where Navarro hit that ball. Navarro picking up his first hit, the 7th for the Rays.
Willie Ibar is going to hit for Iwamura in the 7th.
Ibar, a switch hitter, struggling from this side of the plate, just 1 hit in 12 at-bats. He was a designated hitter in last night's ball game. 1 for 3 with a sacrifice RBI.
Fouled away, a strike. Hit a double, advanced to third, and then maybe the turning point of the game came when Ibar had a chance to score, hesitated, and was thrown out at the plate by Nick Punto. Swing and a foul, 2 strikes, and that stung Morales. Again, the word from Ron Gardenhire today, Mike Redmond has a sore shoulder. We haven't seen him play in several days, nor have we seen him warm up pitchers down in the bullpen. And they're going to give Redmond a couple of days to let the shoulder quiet down, they hope. Fouled at the plate. And with the imminent return of Joe Mauer, in fact, Mauer is supposed to come back to the Twin Cities tonight sometime. And his activation from the roster for Friday's game, things are a little up in the air as to what the Twins are going to do behind the plate. Much of that will depend on how Redmond's shoulder feels on Friday. Breaking ball covers the outside corner, and a big strikeout with Blackburn, who seems to have had a little bit better command of that breaking ball.
He's throwing that curveball a lot. Good tight rotation right there. His 3rd strikeout of the ball game came at the right time. Now can he get that double play ball? He has yet to get one so far in this ball game, and he's usually good for 1 or 2 a ball game.
Gabe Gross, the hitter. Remember, Gross entered the game when Bartlett left it. Check swing and a foul for Blackburn. Just his 3rd strikeout. Is that right? I have 1 swinging strikeout and 2 called 3rd strikes.
Again, he's not a strikeout pitcher, but that was a big strikeout right there. Able to get it. No walks in the ball game. 2nd straight start. He's had no walks in a good ball game. So hopefully he can get out of this inning, get a ground ball right here. Turn a double play.
And now 2 strikes. And not to go overboard here, but an encouraging sign too for Morales. Now Blackburn has to execute the pitch, but you've got a young catcher who's learning this pitching staff, and I would think the ultimate compliment for a catcher who calls the game is to get some called 3rd strikes, calling the right pitch at the right time.
Well, that's one thing that Steve Little has talked about. He works with them, also Rich Stelmasic, that he's getting better and better with every game, knowing what these guys maybe want to throw in situations like this.
Two strikes to Gross, who just saw Ibar strike out. Bouncer through the hole to left. It'll be a base hit. Might have cracked his bat, but it's an RBI single and an 8-2 score.
Well, he got the ground ball. It's just that you have to credit Gross. He just went out and he hit that ball sharply past the diving Harris in the left field. So Gross, who was 0 for 4 here on Monday night, gets an RBI base hit. That scores Zobrist for the 2nd run for the Rays, and it's an 8-2 ball game.
Now Upton. Upton a couple of grounders to short and a single. Another grounder to short. And Harris hits Upton by a stride. Looked elsewhere and decided to gun it across and get out number 2.
He's so quick, but Harris has a very good arm. He did look at second maybe, but then he had to throw a P over to Justin to get the speedy Upton at first.
Both runners move up now. 2 in scoring position for Carl Crawford. And here comes Rick Anderson. Just under 100 pitches, 95 for Blackburn. He's been in control of this thing from the outset. The early run support helped, but you can't help but hope he gets Crawford. 7 innings pitched and 2 earned runs allowed is going to look a whole lot better than 7 runs or 7 innings and 4 runs allowed.
Yeah, you know as a pitcher too, this is a big hitter. It might be your last batter. Craig Breslow's been warming up.
And behind Crawford, the Thunder in this Tampa Bay lineup, Longoria and Pena, Burrell behind them. So in all likelihood, this will be Blackburn's last hitter. At the knees, a strike. Yankees leading the first place Tigers 8-3. If that score holds and this score holds, the Twins will be a half game out of first in the Central Division.
And back at 500.
Which all in all, given what happened to Joe Mauer, he still hasn't put on a Twins uniform yet, at least at the major league level, and a poor start by the pitching staff. Be a good way for the month to end with a couple of series wins. 1-1 to Crawford. 2-1. About the Angels are going to have their first losing month in 2.5 years. Going to go back to 2006 for the last time the Angels had a losing month.
Well, they put relievers into the starting role, and then
3-1 to Crawford.
It's been tough out there. But they have 5 months left. They get Lackey and Santana back.
3-1. Blackburn trying to retire Crawford and complete 7 innings. And he walked him to fill him up. And that might be the end of the day for Nick Blackburn. A right-handed batter, Longoria, is due up next. But suddenly Ron Gardenhire's on the hot seat.
Well, I think they're going to go ahead and let Blackburn face Longoria right here. Again, Breslow, the only one warming up in the bullpen, and he's probably warming up in case Pena comes up either this inning or the start of next. Because hopefully it's the start of next. First walk of the ball game for Blackburn.
And suddenly a big out to get here with Pena looming on deck. Big swing and a miss on the breaking ball. One thing I've noticed just in looking at the radar readings now, that pitch on the screen clocked at 74, and we've seen Blackburn get it up to 91, 92. That's a pretty wide separation, which is good.
Well, that's what he did in his last at bat. Longoria, he threw him a lot of breaking balls, ended up striking him out.
Little roller to short. Harris goes the short way. And Blackburn with 7 very good innings here tonight. A couple runs allowed. He's in pretty good position to pick up the win. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By Dodge, live strong, live bold, live now. Dodge, grab life. And by Aflac, we've got you under our wing.
Well, there you go. You are our Mountain Dew fan of the game.
Somebody hire that lady.
I'll keep her on there a little bit longer.
Yes. Probably would be inappropriate to give her phone number, wouldn't it?
Why, do you have it?
I don't. No, I don't have it. No, I don't. Just trying to get the young lady some work. Melvin Young will lead off the bottom of the 7th. Young drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. Struck out a couple of times tonight.
Well, Cormier's come in and kind of slowed the bats down a little bit. A couple hits. There's a couple shutout innings. Only 2 singles off of him. Span and Morneau.
Where I think the Twins are starting to get encouraged about Michael Kadire drawing some walks and what that might mean for him. Here's a one hopper to the backhand side. Zobrist over to first. Young retired. Delman Young is not a player who's going to turn things around by drawing walks. If he gets it turned around, he's just going to start hitting his way and seeing the average climb. He's a different type of player than Michael Kadire.
Right.
And for Young, 13 hits, just 2 extra base hits, a double and a home run. Well, here's Jose Morales looking for his first hit tonight. Drew a walk in the first. Fouled away. Switch hitting catcher who looks like he can hit from both sides of the plate. A lot of teams would like to have that. There have been some throwing issues, but the Twins are hopeful that that's improving too. Tap foul. What they say about Morales, and he's still, of course, learning how to catch. He's a converted second baseman. But that the ankle injury really messed up his throwing mechanics. We've talked so much about how it could affect somebody's hitting. But when you think about it, you're in the crouch and you need to quickly establish your feet and use your legs to deliver a good throw to second base. And they say now that's been one of the issues with him, to try to relearn some good throwing habits. 1-2.
Well, he sprained that ankle, at the end of the 2007 season when he went 3 for 3 in that ball game against Jose Contreras and the White Sox. And then even last year, he missed the second half of the season because of the ankle injury.
Not many get by Pena. Great play by Carlos Pena to take a hit away from Morales.
Well, you mentioned it so far in the series. A Rawlings Gold Glove winner last year. Makes a nice diving play, flipping it over to the pitcher, Cormier, covering the bag for the second out.
Of course, Pena, a left-handed thrower, so he's got a tougher play on that ball than some, because that's a backhanded play for him down the line. 1 strike to Casilla. The Twins need to get Alexi Casilla going. The average down to 176. 2 strikes. Last year, Casilla got off to a slow start, but his slow start was in Rochester, so not many people noticed. And this year he's off to a slow start in the glare of the major leagues, and everybody's wondering what the problem is.
Well, as long as he does not get down on himself, and he continues to take good batting practice and listen to Joe Vavra and look at tapes, and maybe start bunting a little bit more. Not in this situation here with an 8-2 lead, but maybe in his first couple at bats. When you're struggling, so many things go through your mind, and of course everybody has the answer.
Fly ball to left, and Crawford cuts it off to make the catch, and a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th. first, kind of setting the tone for the evening. The Home Depot defense. Home Depot doing more on defense.
All right, Casilla right there making a great play. Good throw. Crossed his body to get just over to Justin Morneau.
And so the Twins in control of this thing for the time being. Carlos Pena will lead off the 8th, and he'll do it against Craig Breslow.
Well, Breslow coming in, making his 9th appearance. He last worked on Sunday in Cleveland. An inning in the 3rd of shutout baseball.
And Breslow with the reappearance of Jose Majares back in the role for which he was expected to fill. Not to put numbers on things, but the second left-hander, not the guy asked to pitch in the 8th inning, although this is the 8th inning, as Majares did last night, but a complimentary left-hander.
Yeah, his last 3 outings have been very good. Total over his last 3 innings, 3 2/3 innings, he's allowed only 2 hits, no runs, with a couple walks and a couple strikeouts.
And really, you look at his season numbers, and the only one that jumps out at you, kind of makes you flinch a little bit, are the walks, and he had, some control issues in his first couple outings. 2 strikes to Pena. Yankees have beaten the Tigers, so if the Twins can finish off the Rays here, they'll be just a half game out of first in the Central. One and 2. Pena, Burrell, and Zobrist. Middle of the Ray lineup.
Boy, it looks like Zach Greinke's going to go to 5-0. He's got a 7-2 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning in Kansas City.
Twins catching a break in that he will, if he does go 5-0, be going 5-0 against somebody other than the Twins.
Right.
They won't have to face him this weekend. Twins will see Sidney Ponzone, Brian Bannister, and Gil Mesh, maybe. Mesh taken out of the ball game last night for the Royals with some back tightness, and they're a little unsure about whether he's going to be able to answer the bell on Sunday. If they have to make a move, they got Luke Hochevar in Omaha, who I think is 4-0 with a microscopic ERA. So it'll be fun to get our first look at an improved Royals team starting Friday night. 1 and 2 to Pena. Ooh, just off the outside corner. Close pitch.
That hard slider that he throws right there just misses the corner.
And since we're into the Twins bullpen now, we have some encouraging news, we think, about Jesse Crain. The hope is Crain will Friday have a bullpen session and another one on Sunday, and if he passes those 2 tests, I think you can expect Jesse to be activated in time for the next road trip. Two and 2 to Carlos Pena, and now a full count. Low pitching with a 6-run lead. Will do his best to throw a strike here.
Fastball out of half of the plate.
And he missed low for a leadoff walk. 7 very good innings for Nick Blackburn, and right now he's standing by with Robbie Ince-Mikowski.
All right, guys, thanks. Nick Blackburn, 7 of your first 9 outs were ground ball outs tonight. What did you have going early to make it work out that way?
I just kept them off balance, and mixed in a bunch of sinkers, and they weren't getting real good swings off of me. So I think the key right there was just keeping them off balance the way they were.
Dick and Bert mentioned in the booth tonight your fastball was in the 90s, your curveball, your sinker was somewhere around the 70s. How come? Why such the difference in speeds tonight?
I couldn't really tell you, to be honest. Curveball had a little more bite tonight than usual, I think, and that probably slowed it down a little bit.
What's it like going out there for the second inning, 4 runs of support on the board?
It's great. You know, I mean, you have to keep focusing. You can't get too relaxed out there, but it's a good confidence builder to go out there with that much run support.
Nice game tonight, Nick. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nick Blackburn, 7 innings strong tonight. Guys, back out to you.
You were talking about that, getting that early run support and the confidence it can give you.
I tell you what, I was here in 1988 when Frank Viola won the Cy Young Award, and it seemed like every time he walked out there, he had a 3 or 4 nothing lead in the 3rd or 4th inning. And you know, you have to put some zeros on the board, what Frankie did and what Blackburn did here tonight. But it's nice that your offense can put some numbers on the board, especially crooked ones, early in the ball game. Just makes you relax. I think I mentioned, you know, Liriano. I think that the Justin Morneau home run last night relaxed him a little bit. I saw a smoother tempo from Liriano, and he ended up pitching a great ball game. Quality start.
One and 2. And now 2 and 2. Breslow got ahead of Pena and ended up walking him. 12 pitches for Breslow, 6 balls, 6 strikes.
Now, sometimes you get into that mode, you're trying to make the perfect pitch. You have a 6-run lead. You don't want to walk anybody like he did Pena. Trust your stuff. And a good changeup right there.
71 miles per hour. Talk about separation. 1 down. Congratulations to Carlos and his wife Harande. They brought their first child into the world today. Baby boy Yendel Gomez.
Very nice. Congratulations, Carlos and the Gomez family.
I was lobbying until Carlos left yesterday to name the baby after me, but he went with Yendel instead. That's line toward the left field corner, and Zobrist has his second hit. Pena to third. He'll be held there.
I'm not even touching that.
Well, there's no reason for him to name his baby after me, but would have been a nice touch.
Again, I'm not even touching that. Zobrist won a double, his 4th double of the year.
The catcher,
Deanna Navarro will hit with 2 in scoring position and only 1 out. Royals now leading Toronto 10-2 in the bottom of the 5th at the new Kauffman Stadium.
On Navarro, a switch hitter, just 2 hits in 21 at-bats as a right-handed hitter. So he's been struggling from this side of the plate.
Breslow floats another one over. Down and in, 1-1. Rays finishing off a long and disappointing, which has made it even longer, road trip. They lost a series in Seattle. They lost a series in Oakland, and they're 5 outs away from losing a series here. Two and 1.
Yeah, this is their 15th game on the road already, and this is their 22nd game overall. So, I'm sure they're looking forward to getting back into their home field.
And now 2-2. We talked about the Twins' schedule this year, having 14 games in 14 days, and how unusual that was. The Rays, because their opening day was weathered out in Boston, they lost an off day the next day. Ended up now with a stretch of 40 games in 41 days to start the season. 2-2 to Navarro. And that's going to be trouble. Casilla back, makes the catch. Infield fly rule was not called. because Casilla was not in position to make a routine play, but it is the second out of the inning. Twins and Royals this weekend, a 3-game series presented by Bachman's, and on Sunday the first 10,000 fans will receive a Kirby Puckett Legend of the Dome bobblehead. The Twins and Royals at 1:10 on Sunday, and your tickets are available now at twinsbaseball.com.
I think that's a situation where an infield fly rule will not be
there wasn't
called.
anybody at first. I'm sorry. My bad.
Second and third.
Yep, second and third. Here's a pop-up. Morneau might have a chance.
Stay in here.
He makes a catch. So the Rays had a couple in scoring position, and Breslow pitches out of the inning.
Of the 8th inning, I'm Robbie Smikowski, and make sure you stay tuned for Quest Twins Live featuring the Toyota post-game wrap tonight. We'll talk about communication is key. That's our instructional tonight. Bert Blylev and Ron Coomer are going to talk about communicating between the infielders and the outfielders on pop flies and what a role that plays in a baseball game. Blackburn's the Rays. Nick Blackburn goes 7 strong tonight. Big start for the Minnesota Twins. Hopefully a few outs away from picking up another victory, and we'll get reaction from the skipper of the Minnesota Twins, Ron Gardhire, all coming up on Quest Twins Live following the game, featuring the Toyota post-game wrap. Now for the call at the bottom of the 8th, Dick Bramer.
I thank you, sir. Denard Spann leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. And ball 1-1-1.
Well, Lance Cormier taking it for the team, more or less. He's had 3 shutout innings, starting his 4th, and you need pitchers like this. I said when he came in, he's kind of the long man. And here tonight, he's saving a lot of arms out in that bullpen.
Routine ground ball to Pena. Spann retired, and his night might finish 3 for 5. 1 down, and that'll bring up Brendan Harris.
Cormier's retired 7 straight Twins. Scott Kashmir started the ball game. He worked the first 4 innings. He gave up 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, with 4 walks and 4 strikeouts.
Harris with a couple of hits. And a couple of runs scored. Flipped foul down the right field line. 1 strike.
Boy, you like to see production from the top of your lineup, and so far 8 of the 11 hits have come from the first 3 batters here tonight for the Twins.
And the runs have been scored in the top 5 spots in the batting order. Spann scored twice, Harris twice, Morneau twice, Kubel once, and Creedy once. Too tall for Zobrist, and Harris has his 3rd hit.
Well, 9 of the 12 hits have come off the first 3 batters of the ball game for the Twins. Well, he continues to swing a good bat, does he not, Brendan Harris?
Yeah. Here's Morneau. A walk and 3 hits. Inside, a ball. Twins are going to see right-hander Sidney Ponzon on Friday, and one of the curious things about Friday's game is not where Joe Mauer is going to hit. Here's a fly to center, and Upton makes the catch. But will the Twins line up in sequence Mauer, Morneau, and Kubel in the middle of the lineup? 3 consecutive left-handers. 2 down, and now Kubel will hit.
I think, Dick, when you look at that situation, all 3 of them hit left-handers pretty good. I don't think it really matters, late in the ball game if they bring in a lefty. All 3 of those guys can handle left-handers. As far as late in the game, maybe a tough reliever.
Trying to think who the Royals have. Ron Mayhay, I think, is their one left-hander. May have another one. 1 strike to Kubel. Pulled on the ground. Pena has it. Pitcher covers, and another good inning for Cormier. Twins get a hit from Harris. We go to the 9th. The Twins up by 6. Nice mix tonight for the Twins. A good good start by their starting pitcher and some timely hitting. Yeah,
again, the Twins 4 runs in the first really relaxes a pitcher, and Blackburn able to take that through 7 innings. Justin Morneau, you see our Jeep game reset right there. Justin Morneau, a good night at the plate. 3 hits, as Span and Brendan Harris had good nights at the plate.
Luis Ayala will come into the ball game and pitch the 9th inning.
Ayala making his 11th appearance. He last worked on Sunday. 2/3 of an inning in the Twins 4-2 loss to the Cleveland Indians.
Gabe Gross will hit, and first pitch foul to the screen. I had a chance to talk with Ayala yesterday, and of course his home country, Mexico, dealing with a very serious health scare and the crisis regarding the swine flu. His family is from the Pacific Coast region of Mexico, so his family, for the time being at least, is fine. But he pitched for a number of years, 6 years, in Saltillo, which is in central Mexico, which is kind of in the heart of where the health scare is right now. So he has a lot of acquaintances and friends who are dealing with a rather serious situation right now. 2 strikes to Gross. 1-2.
Ayala with that good sinking fastball. He'll mix in a slider and a changeup. Signed as a free agent by the Twins in February of this year.
Foul back. Red Sox got a run in the top of the 10th. They lead Cleveland 6-5, and I would imagine right now are warming up Jonathan Papelbon to close it off in the bottom of the 10th. One and two to Gabe Gross. Just off the corner, 2-2. We've seen Ayala too. This is our first look at him in person. But when he misses, he tends to miss there, down or laterally to the strike zone, not up.
Oh, he's a sinker baller. That's his bread and butter pitch. That last pitch, a breaking ball, just kind of stayed on the same plane. Nice souvenir for that couple.
Two and two to Gross. A high fly to center. And Span comes in. One down. And our Chrysler key stat. The Rays last year didn't lose more than 2 series in a row all year. They won their first series against the Red Sox and have lost every series since. And most managers recite the same pledge. Let's win every series. Let's set that as our goal. We don't need 15-game winning streaks. They're nice if they happen, but you win every series, you're going to be okay at the end.
And that's all the Twins want to do, the same thing. They're able to do that in Cleveland. Hopefully they can do that here against the Rays.
And that'll really be important in what looks to be a very congested American League Central. Once the Twins get into that rhythm of playing Central Division opponents, if you can get into a pattern where you're handing your opponent a couple of defeats in every series, that can make the difference by season's end. 2 strikes to Upton. Morales thought it was strike 3.
Yeah.
Looked back at Bruce Dreckman, and I think he said no, it was outside.
Boy, it's like a pretty good pitch right here. Just clipping the corner.
Didn't the umpire go up with the right hand?
Looked like he did with his right hand.
1 and 2. And now 2 and 2.
We can't always hear what's said down there, but Morales maybe heard, strike 3, and as he got up, he was going to throw the ball to Creedy for a strikeout.
And now a full count.
And of course he's not going to give that one again.
And he misses low, and Ayala ends up walking up him.
Well, Nick Blackburn, he's our Quest player of the game. He's looking for his 2nd win of the year if the Twins can hold on to this 8-2 lead. 7 very good innings, 8 hits allowed, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for Blackburn. Through 102 pitches, 69 for strikes. And the most important thing, 30 batters faced, is able to get ahead, strike 1 on 24 of the 30.
One strike to Crawford. Morneau not holding on with Upton. And there's strike 2. A minute ago we were talking about, the Twins need to take care of business when they get that steady pattern of American League opponents. They really don't have that, aren't going to have that until the final month of the season. Fouled away. You look at the Twins schedule this year, and There'll be a series against Detroit, and then it'll be an interleague series, or it'll be a series against the West after a Chicago series. But 25 of the last 32 games for the Twins this year are against teams within the division. Two strikes to Crawford. Upton goes, and the pitch served to left, and Young blocks it. Upton will go to third, and Crawford will hold up at first with a single. So a walk, now a single. Two aboard with one out.
Well, a good piece of hitting right there by Crawford. Delman Young almost thought about maybe making a diving catch to get this ball, but if this ball gets by him, it might be an inside to Parker right here because of Crawford's speed. Delman keeping that ball in front of him. Upton was taking off on the pitch, so he goes from first to third.
A quick trip, and I mean a quick trip, by Jose Morales to the mound. Up and in, gets a swing and a miss from Longoria. 1 for 4 tonight. Crawford goes inside, and defensive indifference should be called. And they've given Crawford a stolen base. To third, and Creedy will fire across for the out. A run scores. Won't do anything for Ayala's ERA, but 2 away, and Crawford stays at second base.
Yeah, you want to get the out right there. Longoria picks up his second RBI of the ball game.
Why would they give him a stolen base?
I have no idea.
Pena. It's hard to steal something if someone's giving it to you.
Right. Where the score was at the time, 8-2, his run doesn't really matter.
Grounder to second. And the Twins take the series from the Rays, 2-1, and finish April with a .500 record.
A good ball game for the Twins. They came out early, scored 4 early runs, and the Twins end up winning the ball game 8-3.
Question.